What's up guys, Steve here from Deadbeat Customs. We have hit over 1,000 miles on the shop Pan America. I'm going to do a 1,000-mile service on the bike. Not going to go over the entire thing with you guys. I am going to go over how to do an oil change. Pretty simple to do an oil change on any motorcycle. On the Pan Am, a couple of things to know is that the Pan Am Revolution Max motor does take a specific oil. Takes 15W50 oil. Harley makes a Sin blend. I believe Bellwright also offers this oil as well. Here is the 1550 Sin blend that Harley Davidson offers. We do offer the Bellwright oil at deadbeatcustoms.com. Currently there is nobody that offers a oil filter for a Revolution Max motor other than Harley Davidson. So I went to a Harley dealership, had to get an oil filter. I got the oil while I was there. Obviously once oil filters are available for this bike, I will have them for sale. Doing an oil change on this bike, first thing the service manual calls for is to get the bike up to operating temperature, which I already have done. I actually have already drained the oil out of the bike as well. It's just finishing up right now. It's just the end of the oil is dripping out of the bike. I'm going to show you real quick where all that is located. So first thing first, load the bike in neutral, get it hot. They ask you to remove the skid plate. The skid plate that is located underneath your bike comes off. There are 4 Allen bolts on the back of the skid plate, and then towards the front of your bike on the side mounts, which are right here, there are 2 Torx bolts. That comes completely off. Get that out of the way. Get it completely off, get it out of the way. And then the drain plug, which is a 13mm bolt, is located on the back of the motor. This is not like your other Harleys where there was 3 drain plugs, everything was separate. We have 1 drain plug, which is right here. So your drain plug is located right there. So you can see here's my my engine numbers. Your drain plug 13mm bolt is right there. Get the bike hot, loosen up that screw, drain the oil out of the bike. So we're going to let the bike finish doing its thing. Alright, so jumping into the oil change, first thing you want to do is obviously replace the O-ring on your drain plug, which I'm going to pick off right now. The O-ring part number is Harley Davidson part number 1900045. That is a Revolution Max specific O-ring part number. So, new O-ring, going to reinstall the drain plug now. All the oil is pretty much drained out, it's dripping just a little bit, so that is fine. Finger tighten the drain plug and then snug it up with your ratchet. The service manual calls for 15 foot-pounds if you have a torque wrench. Then you want to remove your oil filter, slightly smaller than all the other twin cam oil filters. So my oil filter wrench that I had from Harley did not work. I think they make a separate one for the new Rev Max motors. I ended up using this little Jaws of Life looking oil filter wrench I got from Napa for 10 bucks to grab the oil filter and get it started. Once you take the oil filter off, you want to clean out this area of all the oil and then lube the oil filter O-ring and spin it back on and hand tighten it. So I'm going to do that now. The oil filter. Wipe off all of your residue, everything that leaked. Wipe off your drain plug. And then we're going to put oil in the bike, lubricate gasket with a thin film of clean engine oil, install new filter, Hand tighten oil filter 3/4 of a turn after gasket first contacts filter mounting surface. Do not use oil filter wrench for installation. That goes for all motorcycles. Lubricate with clean engine oil. Install magnetic drain plug. I already did that because I didn't want to make a mess on my lift. Install our skid plate. I'm just going to do that afterwards. And then if you want to add an initial volume of engine oil, which it says refer to table 2-4. So table 2.4 is right here. Your initial fill is only calling for 3 quarts. And then you want to run the bike for 10 seconds, turn off engine and remove filler plug and dipstick. And it says add only enough oil to bring level to the add quart mark on the dipstick. Then you want to start the engine again, check for leaks, and then it tells you to refer to check engine oil level. So on your dipstick, you have a couple markings. So you have an upright fill. And on the other side, you have a side stand fill. And that side stand fill, if you see it, there's 3 markings. There's a low, there's a high, and then that middle mark is where you want to be after your second hut check. So first check is 3/4. You should be at the low check, and then once you get it, the bike hut, you want to top it off, and that top off mark should register right in the middle. So we're going to go ahead now and add 3 quarts of oil to the bike. Alright, so my skid plate is back on. My initial 3 quarts are in the bike. It says to run the bike for 10 seconds and then check it again. So that's what I'm going to do, set the bike up, let it run for 10 seconds. And since I'm on a lift, you want to do the second check on your side stand. It actually calls to do the entire oil change on the side stand, which I have a bike lift, so why not utilize it? I did the oil change on my lift. I'm going to do the hot check on the side stand after the bike warms up. Alright, so I put the bike on the side stand, let it run for 10 seconds, and pulled out my dipstick, wiped it off. I'm going to check the oil level. You want to screw it in all the way, back it off. Again, there's 3 markings on the stick. It does look like I am at the lowest marking, so I want to go up to the middle marking, which will be right where I need to be. So I am now going to use my quart of oil to do just that. About 3 and 3.75 for oil, and I'm going to do my final check. Looks like it's registering right in the middle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ride the bike, and then when I ride the bike, I'll check it one more time to make sure when it's really hot and I'm riding that it is at the middle level as well, but it should be fine. That is how you do an oil change on a Harley Davidson Pan America.